the third 105-degree fever, the pediatrician stopped looking at my baby. He started looking at me. 3 ER visits in 90 days, always on a Tuesday, always after I picked my son up from his grandmother's house. The next morning, Child Protective Services opened a file. I was the suspect. So I bought a $40 humidifier with a camera inside it, and I left my baby with the woman everyone called a saint. My name is Hannah. My son is Eli. My mother-in-law is Marlene. Her husband died 8 months before Eli was born. The same year she retired from the church she had run for 30 years. At the baby shower, she pressed her hand to my belly and said she finally had purpose again. She bought the bassinet, the bottle warmer, the floral humidifier that hummed in our nursery every night. When I went back to nursing school in January, Tuesdays became her day. Daniel was grateful. His mother was a saint. Everyone said so. February 17th, a Tuesday. I picked Eli up from Marlene's at 4:40. By 6:11, he was 104.8. The ER worked him up. Bloods, urine, chest film. Nothing. Viral something, they said. Marlene drove an hour to bring me coffee. She rubbed my back in the waiting room. 2 of the nurses sent her thank you cards. March 10th, a Tuesday. 105.1. Dr. Rao ordered a tox screen this time. I watched him read the result and frown. Acetaminophen. High. But, he said, within parental dosing error. I told him I had not given Eli any Tylenol. He looked at Daniel. Daniel said maybe I forgot. I had not forgotten. I am a nursing student. I chart what I dose down to the milliliter. I went home and sat on the bathroom floor and stared at the unopened Tylenol bottle in our medicine cabinet. The seal was still on it. In the parking lot, I wrote the discharge date on the cover sheet, March 10th. Then I wrote the first one underneath, February 17th. 21 days apart, both Tuesdays. I sat with the engine off for a long time. I did not tell Daniel. I drove home, opened the family calendar, and counted backward. Every spike, every fever, every Tuesday.
March 31st, a Tuesday. 105.4. Acetaminophen, 4 times therapeutic dose. Dr. Rao did not look at Daniel this time. He picked up the phone and called CPS while I was still in the room. The next morning, a woman named Miss Carter sat across from me for 2 hours. Kind eyes, clipboard. She walked me through every feed I had given Eli in 60 days. Then she said, gently, that I was not to be alone with my own son until further notice. Marlene cried in the lobby. She said of course she would take him, for as long as we needed. Daniel hugged her. He did not look at me. That night I drove to a Walmart in the next county. $40. Wi-Fi humidifier with a pinhole lens. Same brand, same floral pattern as the one Marlene had picked herself at the shower 8 months earlier. Friday morning I carried the new one into her kitchen in a diaper bag. She made tea. While the kettle screamed, I walked into the nursery, swapped them, and zipped the old one into the bag. I kissed Eli on the head. I told her I would see her at 4. I drove to clinicals and timed my own pulse. 106. I did not watch it on her couch. I drove home, locked the bathroom door, and opened the app on my phone with the volume off. 22 minutes, 23 seconds. Timestamp 14:22:08. Marlene walks into frame. She smiles at the humidifier. She does not know it is a camera. She pulls a 10 milliliter syringe from her cardigan, uncaps Eli's bottle, doses it, sets a kitchen timer on the counter, then sits at the table with a crossword and waits. The timer chimes at 14:44:31. She does not check on him. She picks up the phone. Her voice begins to shake on the second ring. I drove straight to the precinct with the SD card and Eli asleep in the car seat. Detective Vasquez called Daniel from her desk phone. He arrived in his work boots, still covered in drywall dust. They sat him in a conference room with a laptop. I waited outside. I heard him sway. I heard the detective slide a trash can across the floor before he asked for it. He did not speak for 9 days. He never looked at me the same again.
Detective Vasquez played it again at half speed. "Watch the timer," she said. "Marlene sets it before she doses the bottle, meaning she already knows the metabolic window, meaning she has done this before." Pharmacy records came back the next week. 7 prescriptions across 3 years, 2 pharmacies, 2 states. Daniel's brother had a daughter in 2019. She died at 9 months. The official cause was crib death. No one had autopsied her. The body was exhumed that summer. Daniel's brother stopped speaking to him for a year. Detectives knocked on Marlene's door at 6:14 the next morning. She answered in her bathrobe, holding a coffee mug that said "World's Best Grandma." She asked if she could finish her coffee. They said no. She asked if she could call her son. They said no. She asked 3 times if the neighbors were watching. Detective Vasquez answered her on the third one. "Ma'am," she said, "your neighbors are the least of what is about to see this." In January, Marlene pleaded to first-degree child abuse, attempted murder, and 3 counts of poisoning. 22 years, parole eligible at 15, no visitation with any minor for the rest of her life. My victim impact statement was 6 sentences long. Daniel and I started couples therapy that month. We are still together. He has never once asked me to forgive his mother on his behalf. I finished my degree. The hospital that thanked Marlene now has my photo on a pediatric Munchausen by proxy tining slide. I co-wrote it. She writes to me every week. The letters arrive on Tuesdays. I have not opened a single one. They sit in a shoebox under Eli's crib. He is 18 months old now. This morning he pulled a stuffed elephant across the kitchen floor. The humidifier on the counter is a different brand. There is no camera inside it. I do not need one anymore. The CPS investigator who once opened a file against me sent a letter too. That one I kept.